in the yard, huh? Maino was just on Vlad TV talking about this new record he dropped called The Algorithm, where he's naming all kind of podcasters, reaction video guys, all of that. But Maino says that it's not a diss record. I beg to differ, and there's a lot of other people that do. So check out what Maino had to say, and I'll be right back.
Come on.
It's not, who got this? Who got this?
Come on, man.
Did you really listen though?
I listened to it.
I think it was a clever way of playing on words, on playing on what it is. I think it was it really is the message behind it. Like, you know what I mean? You know, I was one of the guys that, you know, when that YouTube thing started to take off, I was one of the guys that they was constantly going at, you know? From the Hassan Campbells to the, 050, like I was one of the guys that they was constantly going at. Then I got to the point I was like, I couldn't understand it in the beginning because I wasn't used to niggas talking like that to me or about me, right? So the first thing, we was trying to understand, like, why, like, how is these niggas going at me that never met me, never been in a room with me, never had no real problem with me? I couldn't understand it for a long time. Now I get it. Now I understand that this is the temperature of the game when it comes to that.
Now, Maino, you did an extraordinary job with this record. I'll give you your props for that. I think that it will be one of the top songs of 2026 when it comes from a New York rapper. You have an extensive record of hits as well. But yes, I agree with Vlad that your career essentially started off a controversy. You can't erase history, right? When you first came in the game, you already had the street cred and everything. You coming home from jail, you deboing your way into record label offices and all of that, determined to get a deal by any means necessary, and you got what you needed. You got what you was looking for in a positive way. But you came out with the song Rumors. And even though you said, I heard, you still are name dropping people. And it's almost like the same thing 50 Cent did with How to Rob, right? He said that this wasn't serious, this was all a joke, but he started name dropping people and people took that seriously. So the difference between then and now with you name dropping people in this record that's fire is that they don't care. 050 the movement, Hassan Campbell, well, Hassan Campbell's kind of sensitive, so he'll care. But a lot of the other podcasters, the big bloggers and shit, they don't really care. If you're mentioning their name, they love it. Negative, positive, indifferent, it don't fucking matter. They love it because, like you said, it's about the monetization. They're gonna get paid from you talking about them. So I get your strategy as far as like, yo, you know what? Instead of going on let's rap about it and me name dropping these dudes and talking about them and seeming like I'm upset or I'm angry about this shit, now that I understand it, I'm just gonna make a record. I'm gonna be creative with it, which is what you did, which is awesome. But at the end of the day, this is a diss record. And I see how you trying to mask it and all of that and put the icing on the cake to make it seem like, but the inside of the cake is a fucking diss record, my brother. Let's get back to this audio.
I think I found a clever way of getting the message across. Like when I say shit like they disrespect and it says content, that's a real thing because there's a thin line between disrespect and content. You know what I mean? You get on the line and you say deplorable things about me and then you say it's content and I'm like, nigga, this ain't content to me. You understand? So I don't really look at it so much as a diss song. I think I sent a few shots. I think a couple of people got caught in that, but it is what it is. Look how many times niggas in...
Right there, my brother, is where you kind of messed up. Because now it sounds like, look at how many times niggas did this to me. Look at how many times niggas did that to me. And you're right. A lot of these motherfuckers out here mentioned your name. You were the algorithm for a minute. You still are the algorithm right now. And they mentioned your name without knowing you, without being in a room with you. And it was disrespectful. I totally agree. But you made this record off of the premise and the foundation of niggas talking about you and you not feeling that shit. Sure, you have an understanding, my brother, but you still feel away. As you should, I get it. You should feel away. But what I don't like you doing is saying that you get it, you understand it. It's not a diss record, but you said people got hit with strays and shots. It is what it is. That means that you still feel away, Maino. And that's why you made this record. That's the premise of it. I'm just saying.
I don't understand how all these people talking about me that don't know me. When you came out with the song Rumors, where you talked about a whole bunch of people that you had never met.
Listen. I talk about the rumors of the game. Think about what you're saying. That's different than a nigga going on his platform to call me a snitch without no evidence about that. What we talking about? How's that the same?
But you're disrespecting people in this
nigga,
song.
hell no. No, that's
Maino,
not this.
I love you, Maino, but come on, man.
But listen to what I'm saying, Vlad. If a man is saying things about you that is absolutely untrue, that's not disrespect to you?
You don't know this Suge Smack game. That's just one of the things in
I said I heard.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it does
You're still putting it
matter.
out there.
Yo, Vlad, we can argue all day up and down from here to the fucking moon. That you're not gonna make me believe that that's the same thing.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, my brother, it's somewhat the same. It's somewhat the same. You know why? Because you're regurgitating information you heard, right? Of course, it's not the same in the fact that somebody is saying you're a snitch, somebody saying you're gay, somebody saying all these negative things about you, like you said, without any evidence, and they're saying it straight up to you, on camera, through the internet, calling the content monetizing. Okay, they're wrong. But when you drop rumors, there's stuff that you're saying you heard and you're regurgitating the information. So by you regurgitating the information and saying you heard this, you heard that, why not just not say nothing at all? You don't have to say anything, bro. But by you saying that, now people that you're talking about is gonna be like, who the fuck this nigga think he is? That shit wasn't true, this wasn't true, that wasn't true, but why is he making a record out of it and saying that I got slapped by somebody? Or that this happened, that happened. It's not true, it's false. But you're still saying it. It's coming out of your mouth. You're making a record about it, nobody else. So of course, those people you mentioned are gonna feel the way, just like the example I used earlier with 50 Cent, with How to Rob. He mentioned a plethora of people saying what he would do to them, playing and joking around, making a record, and a lot of people took that seriously. So it's a thin line between this thing here.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so if I made a tweet and I said,
Don't put yourself in it. No, I'm not allowing you to do this today. You keep putting yourself into these interviews. We're not doing it. This don't have nothing to do with you. Because first of all, you don't even run your page like that. I'm specifically talking about the guys who run their pages off of, disrespect. I'm talking about the guys who run the pages off of things that haven't been found to be true. So this is why I say it don't matter if it's lies, as long as their page is monetized, right? Because on the internet, only the strong survive. I get it now, right? I take it less personal as I used to take it from before, right? Because, like I said, I was never used to a nigga talking that way about me or even having that kind of energy toward me. So I don't think the song is so much of a diss, but more or less about the messaging in it. You know what I'm saying? Because who you think really got dissed in there?
I guess I took it overall as a diss.
Right.
I mean, you have that one line, 50 tried to use that N-word Max as a pawn, causing more division in the city, got
That's
stoned.
a fact. You think he playing chess? You think that he didn't know what he was doing? That was a chess move. Everybody gives 50 the credit for being this thinker, right? This chess move. So he understands the temperature between Max and Jim Jones. You don't think that like, come on, and look at what I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing wrong, because all I do is cause more division.
First and foremost, Maine, we all know how 50 Cent is. We know how he gives it up, right? We know that he plays chess in this music industry. We know that he's on some Art of War, 48 Laws of Power, 50th Law shit. We all know this, right? We all know that eventually he's gonna come at somebody, he's gonna troll somebody, and at the end of the day, 50 get niggas paid. Whether he's talking about you negatively, positively, indifferent, whatever, he gets niggas paid, right? Now, I understand where you coming from that with the division thing and stuff like that, but wasn't hip hop started off a battle rap? Battling other people, talking about them, in some instances disrespecting them on wax and stuff like that. Of course, it's a little different now because we have the internet and you can see everything. Everything's video, everything's documented. Now you got AI, all of this stuff. But back then, in the 80s and 90s and all that, the way you got on was battling somebody, right? That is the root and the fucking foundation of hip hop. So now we still have it, but it's just in a different aspect. So when you say that 50 knew what he was doing as far as Max B is concerned, Max B had already had the record out, then 50 jumped on it, did the AI video, put it out and stuff like that. That really struck a nerve with you. And I get it struck a nerve with you, and I applaud you for going on wax and discussing how you feel and going at people in contrast to you being an old Maino and being out in the streets and pulling up on niggas and choking niggas out and beating niggas up. I appreciate that from you. I understand that this is kind of, it's pushing your buttons, bro. It's pushing your buttons, and you said, I need to get this off my chest. I need to say something. And I respect it. I respect it. Don't take things too personally. Like, don't take things too personally. Now, listen, me and you had a phone call. You called me when I put up a post about Fifth. And you got on the phone with me. I ain't gonna talk online about what we discuss and stuff like that, but I respect where you come from. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. And I love the way that you did it, bro. Everybody out there, make sure you go check out that Vlad TV interview with Maino that just dropped. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe on my channel right now. And also, I want to ask y'all, do y'all think that the algorithm is an actual diss record? Or do you think it's just a clever way of Maino expressing itself without dissing people? And 3, do you feel like the other content creators and podcasters that he mentions should respond? Let me know in the comments. One love, salute.
In the yard, huh?